All right, everybody. So I'm going to continue on from where I left off because really, this is just a continuation of the same conversation. The first thing I would note is that, oh yeah, right. So the first thing would be, so as I'm going through marking things and everything like that, make sure that you listen or read the feedback, right? Especially if there's no mark. If there's no mark, that means you didn't do something enough. You didn't do it right, or there's something there you can improve. And I didn't put a mark because it would either be, below, below what you have been achieving at, so I'm giving you a chance to bump it up before it gets to something else, or it would be a failing mark because you didn't achieve the basic goals of the assignment. All right, so make sure that we're listening or reading the feedback that I give you. And yes, most of the time, unless you've got a really high mark already, you can resubmit things for reevaluation when I get to it. Right? So if you I'm continuing to move through the course as I mark things, and if you are just handing in stuff from Unit 1, you got to wait until I go back to Unit 1, right? So that's just the way that goes. All right, so make sure. And also, I still don't see enough people submitting things to their portfolio or the alternate portfolio tool. Got to get that stuff in. I don't know what I guess I don't know what at all, because really marks are about evidence. They like evidence of learning. And the more stuff you show me, the more evidence I have to say, yep, you get it. Right? If you give me one assignment versus one assignment and two pieces of stuff in your portfolio, yeah, well, you better hope that one thing you handed in is enough to show me you understand that concept. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen, right? In terms of marks and stuff, not good. So moving on, I'm actually going to separate the next part into two pieces. I thought of it, and I thought of it in that I didn't want to chunk it all into one big thing. Okay, so there's two pieces to this. The first one is going to be looking at, so we're still looking at globalization. And the first one's looking at winners and losers of globalization, right? There's two videos you're going to watch from different perspectives. It's not like there's different perspectives. It's a different way. The one, again, is a crash course. This is a crash course economics. And it gives you lots of information about the economic theory and how it's affecting people and all that kind of stuff. And the other one is one that is, it's a number of years old now, but it is, it's based on what happens like in sweatshops and stuff like that, right? So it gives you kind of, I guess, in ways, the effect that globalization has had on people. At the same time, so that's the first part. That's going to be the winners and losers part, and that's going to be an assignment, like you're going to hand something in. And then the second part is going to be, this leads to a submission, assignment, submission. And then the second part is going to be what has changed. because, as I had said before, this stuff that was updated in 2018, well, some of it's from the beginning of the 2000s, some of it's from 2015, some of it's from 2017. I'm really stuck with some of the topics, like what's changed here. So there's going to be two options to pick, and this is going to be a discussion in terms of, I want to change that. You know what? I'm going to change that. Whoop, why did I do that? That's just dopey. Hello, dopey. Yeah, I'm going to change that. This is going to be the assignment. We'll have two options. You'll see what the options are when you read them. But basically, that's what I'm getting at, is the central piece is, like, what has actually changed? What have we actually done about this disparity or inequality? Have we actually made any changes in the last 5 to 10 years? And in some cases we have, as you'll see in one of the videos. Things have gotten better, but for some people. But anyway, we'll leave it up to what you think. This one is going to be the discussion, because the winners and losers part is, it's not going to be a discussion based on like who wins and who loses. That's the information you're going to gather. You're basically going to say, you're going to argue whether the amount of winning for people justifies the losing on the other end. So yes, people still live in poverty, but they don't live in as abject poverty as they did before. So is that a win? Is that a gain? Is that something like we should be proud of? Are we going in the right direction? Are these positive signs? That's what you're going to be doing in the discussion. So you're going to gather information, gather info, about this, and then the discussion is going to be not on who is the winners and losers, but basically, are we going in the right direction in terms of winners and losers? Are we doing things that are bringing that inequity together? Like, are we changing things for it basically is, and when you add it all up, is it a positive, even if it's a small positive, or is it still a negative, right? That's what you're getting out of this. And this discussion, so I'm looking for some really interesting insights here, and not just, again, I don't want to read yes, I think that's a good point, thank you for sharing. That doesn't really help the conversation at all. I want you to bring something to the table when you do this. All right? Okay. There we go. So that stuff's going to be out there in the content. Oh, and can you believe, for last thing, look at this. Look at what I did here. I noticed when I watched it, I'm like, that's an L. What am I crossing the L for?